Well, good morning and happy Thursday to everyone, or afternoon, or evening. Hey guys, welcome to Cloud Talk Live. I'm so glad that you are here with us today. You know who I am. I'm Jeff DeVerter. I'm the Chief Technology Evangelist here at Rackspace Technology. And that means I get to work inside of the office of the CTO. I get to tell the world about what we do here, about transformation. And more importantly, I just get to come and hang out and talk with you guys and get paid for it. And oh boy, wait till we get to talk to my guest here today. You're really in for a treat in this last of our Women in Tech series for the month of March. Now, of course, Tuesday, first Tuesday of the month, of course, that means Women in Tech Tuesday. And so we'll be back with another really fascinating interview there. Natalie Silva's here. Ooh, you came to talk to Kat, didn't you? And got Louisville here again. Folks, if you want to get a hold of us, of course, you can find us on LinkedIn. You can find us in the Twitters, any of those places, or just simply send an email over to us here at solve@rackspace.com. All right, we've got Julia Lopez. Julia's here. Julia's here. And we got India. We got Hem from India. Everyone continue to be like Julia and Hem and Natalie. Introduce yourselves down in the comments below. Would love to know who you are and where you are in the world. Guys, we've got some really interesting stuff coming up to tell you about in the news after the interview. There's been some really interesting cloud advances. We're going to get into those as we progress as well. But next up on the agenda, guys, I want to remind you that you can always find all of the information about our guests and about the news and about the updates on this website over at rackspace.com/solve, which of course is our thought leadership platform and program, and /110. This is episode 110 of Cloud Talk Live. 110 of these. Can you even believe it? That's a lot of content. Guys, I would encourage you to subscribe to the podcast because you can get the audio from all of these events, plus audio of just the podcast itself. This week, Srini Kaushik, Rackspace's new EVP and CTO, my boss. So go listen to his and comment and say nice things. Maybe I'll get a raise. Who knows? All right, we've got Michael from Houston again. That's just great. Michael, you're becoming a bit of a regular. Glad that you are here. We have Sanjan from India. We always have a great group from India. Pennsylvania showing up again. James is here. Thank you, James, for coming back in. And Pucha from WM Media. Oh, UAE is here. I think this may be one of the first times we've had somebody from there. Hey, guys, it is still Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency is still recognizing the fact that this is heightened security times. Encourage you to have your shields up. If you don't know what that is, go over to cisa.org/shields-up, and you can learn all that you need to do to be prepared. Hey, I love it when people in the chat just start talking to one another. Well, I mentioned we have a great guest here today, and this does sum up our Women in Tech month. You can find replays of all of the great women that we've had here on the program over at rackspace.com/solve/women-tech/2022. But today, it's all about having Kat Dizon on. And Kat and I got to work together for a number of years while she was here at Rackspace. And Kat has gone on to do some amazing things in the tech industry and at large. So with that, Kat, come on up on stage. I think Daniel can make that happen. Kat, welcome to Cloud Talk Live.
Thank you, Jeff. It's great to be here.
I'm so glad that you're here. Look at that. We got people from Houston. We've got people from United Arab Emirates. They're from India. They've all come to hear you. They want to know more about you. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. You and I got to spend some time together working on the same teams inside of Rackspace. How long were you here at Rackspace?
So I was at Rackspace for 11 years.
Okay.
Started in 2005 and entered into the Linux side of the house, working in managed hosting.
Whew, old school. Back when managed hosting was where it was at, which was still a thing, but there's a lot more tech that's available these days. Hey, Natalie loves you. You see that in the chat there. Remember Natalie Silva?
Love you too, Natalie.
So you start on the Linux side. Tell me a little bit about the progression inside of Rackspace.
Sure. So after a year of working through Linux support, I moved into compliance.
Mm,
and learned a lot about security structure, posturing, and just getting to know each and every component of Rackspace through the compliance lens.
okay.
And then shortly after that, was part of the incident management team for almost 5 years, working through our global, footprint of just ensuring that anytime there was impact or anything that took us off track, help the company kind of, repair and move forward.
Right.
And then decided to get into cloud product because at that point in time, that's where everything was going, was towards the
Yeah.
cloud.
That's right.
So started cloud in 2000, around 2010.
Yeah.
And then after having all of those pieces, moved into the mergers and acquisitions team for Rackspace and helping acquire amazing startups to help enhance Rackspace's portfolio.
And wasn't that educational for the current role that you're in today?
Absolutely. It got me ready for the next level, after departing Rackspace. I took that knowledge of the tech, the, infrastructure, the business modeling, meeting and working with founders, and instead
Mhm.
of acquiring them, I now, invest and help grow and scale up high potential startups to
Yeah.
reach their next level and milestone.
That's exciting. And it also sounds somewhat intimidating when you think about tech, when you think about jobs. We were chatting before we went live in the figurative green room, if you will. And you were mentioning it sounds like you're more in the relationship business than you are in the tech business.
Absolutely. When we first take a look at a potential investment for us, we get so close to the team, the founding team, the technology, the space they're going after, and really becoming a partner to them and figuring out if it's going to be a long-standing relationship. And then on the investment side, we work with our investors, establishing relationships, making an alignment of what we're looking for investment into, and if they want to be a part of that. So investor relations is very important as someone who's in venture and trying to balance the startup
Yeah.
community that we're in, as well as the investing community that we manage.
That's pretty incredible. Now, you mentioned you joined Rackspace in 2005. You've been working in and around tech ever since then. Was it intimidating joining, or what was the job before tech? Actually, I should ask that question. What did you do before tech?
So I started running companies when I was only 20.
Wow.
I just moved up to San Antonio, went to the University of Texas at San Antonio, and had to find a job to put myself through college, and got really good at running a business. And before I knew it, I was running three businesses at the same time, and just
And
wanting
going to school.
and going to school, but learning so much, working with people, hiring, staffing, learning sales and marketing, getting very good at understanding how businesses run and
Right.
operate. And before I knew it, it was 2005. I was looking for my next, step in my career,
Yeah.
and technology was just getting so advanced and so exciting, and everybody was into it and talking about it. So I felt, gosh, you know what? I think I've got the stamina to try something new, take what I've learned
Yeah.
and add a technology layer to it.
Very interesting. Was it intimidating at all moving into tech? I mean, tech is a very different thing. It can be, hey, it's a bit of a black box when you think about what's happening behind the scenes, and it can tend to be a very male-dominated environment. So, would any of that stuff intimidate you, or was it just a great challenge?
I think it was just a great challenge. I was very honest going into into Rackspace, saying I
Yeah.
know nothing of tech, but I'm a good learner, and I'll make sure I get up to speed. And before you know it, month two, month three, you start getting that education. You start hearing similar stories. You start understanding conceptually what's going on, and then you start getting into the details.
Yeah.
So it's just something more to learn, and if you're determined enough and a student of life to keep
Right.
going, the advancements are actually very challenging but very exciting. And I
Yeah.
think that's what fed my will and my determination to continue to evolve with the technology.
Well, and one thing I've learned about you is the best way to get and someone like yourself motivated is to tell you you can't do it, and it's like, I'll show you.
That was the amazing part of my experience with Rackspace, was there was so much runway to learn. to develop and to continue to push the envelope for yourself of what could I do next? What more could I do? What more can I take on?
Yeah.
And, that just matched my personality to a T.
That's fantastic. And, I've worked at a lot of different companies through my career. And one of the things that I do appreciate about Rackspace is, when you think meritocracy, and that's a big word, but if we break it down, it's effectively if you can deliver and you're a nice person and good person to work with, and you've got a good head on your shoulders, you can really do about anything you want to do around here.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of folks misunderstand just because it's a technology company, there's so many
Mm,
factors that go into being an amazing company,
right.
beyond the tech. The tech has to be fantastic, but there's
Yeah.
so many other things that you get a vantage point into, whether it be sales or marketing or just the community or the space and industry. So there's so much that folks can kind of contribute to, alongside the tech and complement the whole business.
It's a really good point. On Tuesday, this past Tuesday, we had Rackspace's Chief Marketing Officer, Casey Schilling, on. And was it the last? I think the last stop before she came here was CMO over at Zoe's Kitchen. And as you're saying that about all the other things you have to do, finally having the epiphany of the fact that working in tech doesn't mean you have to be a coder. I mean, if you work at Zoe's Kitchen, not everybody has to be a chef. There's a whole lot of other stuff that has to happen along the way.
Yeah. And that's usually my advice. If somebody's in between what to do next for a career, I always encourage them to take a look at the tech industry. There's never a shortage of opportunities that can tech will come. It's something that's learned. It's always changing. So you can catch in midstream
Yeah.
and learn. But it's something to always have in mind to get into.
Boy, and talk about a future-proofed market. I mean, it's in every industry. It is the underpinning of everything, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. So, but you eventually left. And what year was it that you left Rackspace?
I left in 2017.
Okay.
Coming out of Rackspace, tried to figure out what to do next. And, I had a friend and also former racker that was
Mhm.
contemplating the same thing, what to do next. So had that, proverbial coffee together to try to figure out what we should do.
Coffee can be
And
dangerous.
but we talked through our favorite highlights of Rackspace and our time
Yeah.
working together, and we realized it was really working with founders, assessing technology, figuring out what it would take to help them scale and grow. And it
Yeah.
kind of started to come together that we wanted to start an investment firm and start investing in these startups and get in um, earlier stage startups to help guide them through what they're about to embark on with a
Yeah.
tech journey and building a team and building great product.
That's really interesting. But running that isn't the only thing that you do, of course. There's several boards that you're a part of. Why don't you tell us about a few of those?
Sure. So one of the boards that I'm on is for Geekdom, which
Mhm.
is our startup community in San Antonio. It's an environment that we encourage startups to not only come, find their idea, build it, but really just scale and thrive.
Yeah.
And they produce a lot of programming, workshops, mentorship, just really trying to find those entrepreneurs locally to help them come up with that amazing idea and help them build that out.
Right. Super interesting. Yeah, and one of the another brainchild of Graham Weston, and really has grown and really driving a lot of interesting tech out of San Antonio. It's great to watch, the startup news. It's great to watch the investment news and see these little seedlings of ideas that now are really pretty impressive businesses at this point.
They are. They are.
Hey, well, how about some of the others? I mean, you do a lot of mentorships type stuff as well
I
from a board.
do. I have an 8-year-old daughter, and
Yes.
she is just an extraordinary human being. I mean,
Mhm.
she is fearless. She is competitive, and I think having a daughter and being her primary, cheerleader of all things, it's had me change my outlook on
Hmm.
how I can contribute not only to the tech community, but to
Yeah.
the community in total. And there are
Right.
two boards that I sit on. One is Girls Inc., which
Yeah.
is a San Antonio chapter where we focus on providing programming and workshops to areas of the city that may be underrepresented or underserved, and getting those girls from ages 5 to 16 to help them think about their future, what they want to
Yes.
do, what are their interests, how do we cultivate that, and how do we help them get to thinking about who they want to be, as leaders in the community and beyond. What kind of
Right.
schooling do they want? Do they know what STEAM is? What
Hmm.
excites them? So it really has me doing what I can on the times and availability that I have to help support those girls that, gosh, they could be our next tech leaders. They could be our next city leaders. And they're local to San Antonio. So it gives me such great pleasure to be a part of that board and
Right.
make an impact in the community.
That's really interesting. When you think about what you're able to do, I love how you've taken what you've done with your daughter and built this fearless little powerhouse of a human, and now helping to, like you mentioned, in some of these parts of San Antonio that maybe are underrepresented or underserved, that the future really is an open door, and they can really pretty much attack anything that they want to go do.
That's right. And because we're finding out that our entrepreneurs are getting younger, they're starting earlier. There's
Yeah.
another board that I sit on and it's called Venture Lab. And what we are doing, it is entrepreneurship mindset for youth and students that want to go into that new type of lens into how they look at the world. And what it
Right.
does is it helps them think through special challenges, be creative, get vocal. How do they use their voice? How do
Mhm.
they maximize their situation? How do they
Yeah.
work through that entrepreneurial gritty mindset? And it offers programming to students and kids that are looking to really unlock that. And we're starting to see those that go on to the universities, and they're already on their seventh idea, their eighth idea
Really?
of industry, what they want to tackle, because they already started at such an early age of how to see through problems and how to think beyond the
Right.
day-to-day school classwork. So
Think beyond
it's
homework.
yeah, it's just amazing with these kids' ideas without limitation
Mm.
where it takes them.
How do they
And
do that, Ken? Is it through the school, or is it something outside of school that they get involved in?
it's outside of school. It's actually a curriculum that you can go to venturelab.org on online, and
Okay.
you can download programs, you can download content and workbooks, and they have these exercises that really get your child thinking creatively and how they would solve problems and how they would solve for to improve ways that's currently going on in the world. And it's just amazing what they come up with. And you just see that change of how they rationalize things moving forward.
That's incredible to give them that mindset at such an early age and realize that creative thinking, even in a traditional work environment, when problems arise, they're going to approach that completely from a different angle, of the sky's the limit. And if the problem's right here, they're not going to come at it straight ahead. They'll come at it from the side. They'll come at it from underneath or on top.
That's right, because there's no how to for them. They just have to think it and really figure out and feel their way through it. And it opens so many other ways for them to explore.
Yeah. Hey, tell me about Beam Angel Network real quick, as we're starting to get a little close on time.
Absolutely. So the Beam Angel Network, we started that during the pandemic. The Austin chapter opened in 2020. The San Antonio chapter opened in 2022. I'm sorry, 2021.
Okay.
And what we do is we are a group of investors that look for women-led startups
Hmm.
to invest in, to help mentor, scale, and grow.
Yeah,
But it's very specific because as we know, a lot of investment dollars go elsewhere. They're not
they do.
making it to the women-led startups. So here is a community that is fully supportive of the woman founder, female founder, to come in, help them be ready for their startup, get them to a place where they can take funding, and then help them send them off on their way to continue to build and grow. So Beam, love that they're in San Antonio. Love that their focus is on women founders. And if you're a woman
Right.
founder that's looking for funding, please reach out to Beam Angel Network, as we are always looking for investment opportunities and for those to help mentor.
Well, you obviously mustn't ever sleep because you're involved in so many things. So we just have a minute or two left here with you, Kat, and boy, this has been a hard question for some of the ladies to answer, but I think you sort of live this question. But if you were to now, we get a lot of ladies who will comment and say, or men, husbands will take these, and dads will take these episodes home to show their teenage daughters, their grade school daughters, to say, hey, look at these ladies who've done this stuff. What's your message to them? What as this video gets carried home to be shown? What do you say to that 12-year-old, 10-year-old, 15-year-old?
I would say have your voice, use it, have an opinion, find your perspective on things, and make sure you share them. I think many times people are afraid to share their ideas. They don't know how it'll be received. They maybe aren't sure how to deliver it, but very direct, very pointed on what they're thinking, what they're feeling, but always use your voice on things because I think that instills a confidence if you're used to hearing yourself deliver messaging or delivering how you feel,
Yeah,
it starts to come out a lot easier. And even some adults just don't know how to
yeah.
get their voice going or how to, when do I say it? How do I say it? Just say it.
Just say it.
You can
You'll
naturally.
figure out when it works and when it doesn't.
Exactly. You'll find your rhythm, you'll find your way, your style, but start with just speaking up, saying things, seeing things, and communicating what you're feeling. And naturally, that will come to be something very easy for you to do rather than it be painstaking when you finally want to use your voice, but just aren't sure how to do it. Start young, start off, and keep it growing to make sure that you're included in every conversation.
Every conversation you want to be a part of, there's no reason you shouldn't be there.
That's right.
Kat, that is inspiring, and a little bit for me as well, I'm going to say. So thank you so much for being here. It's great to see you again. It's been way too long, and you're an inspiration of what you're doing, both in from a professional career, but also the boards and the different areas of interest that you're a part of. And congratulations on that new little black belt running around your house.
Oh, thank you so much. She's a fearless young leader, and I'm raising her. So I again just
Yay!
my she fills my bucket. But thanks so
My
much.
my guess is she's not too shy to share her opinions either, is she?
Not at all, not at all. I love I know what I'm in for now, but glad to have her starting off so young in a leadership role. So
Kat, that's wonderful. Again, thank you so much for being here today. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed meeting Kat. You can find her over on LinkedIn, Kat Dizon. She's there, and I'm sure would love to hear from you, especially if you are a female startup and looking for some guidance and or funding.
yes, please reach out.
All right.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much, Kat. Have an amazing day.
You too.
All right. Well, everyone, how about that? I hope you found that as inspirational as I did. These episodes that we've been doing with women in tech throughout this month, uh, I'm going to tell you, I really felt like I wanted to do it because the world needed it. I'm sort of learning I did it because I needed to do it. And there have been some amazing messages that have impacted me, whether it's been this one, Casey on Tuesday, Angela last Thursday. How amazing was that one? If you haven't heard it, you really want to go back and listen to that one. Hey, if you want to get the audio from any of these, of course, just go over to rackspace.com/solve/110 and or subscribe to the Cloud Talk podcast. You can see the image right there. Why don't you everybody go ahead and do that right now? That will certainly help my numbers. And I do report those numbers to the CEO, and he does care. So that takes us from our interview, which was just, I love that discussion so much. Kat is an amazing woman. So, hey, let's talk about this week in the cloud and see what is new in the cloud space, everyone. And let's push all the right buttons here. There we are. The first bit of news is it's all cyber today, guys. And it starts with a story that I read about crypto mining. And guys, threat actors are compromising cloud accounts all over the place. Not so they can go in and steal your data. Well, they may do that, but ultimately so they can get in and spin up their own servers that they can use for crypto mining. It's big business, folks. They are looking for weak passwords. They are looking for holes in firewalls. They're looking for any way they can come in. They are exploiting free accounts for developers. I want to encourage you. This is what you need to know about this and be more specific about these news articles and why they matter to you. If you've got a cloud account, secure it, MFA, anything you can do to make it a more secure environment, especially those workloads that you've deployed. Again, their goal isn't to necessarily come in and take you down. Their goal is to sneak in and run your cloud bill up so that they can go mine some crypto. So, if you'd like to learn more about it and about all things cyber, well, let me tell you about the Purple Hats conference coming up. This isn't necessarily news, but I saw this posted yesterday and I thought you would want to know about it. So, this is the second annual Purple Hats conference, the industry designation for cybersecurity practitioners to collaborate, share ideas, and learn how to evolve a reactive to proactive threat informed defense. Guys, this is a free conference. It's online. There isn't any reason that all of you shouldn't go subscribe to it right now. Just go over to that. Actually, the link is over at rackspace.com/solve/110. You can follow this link and go subscribe. I can't encourage it enough. I'm going to go watch it. It will be awesome. I'm going to go learn something. They have some keynotes. I think it's only half a day and several breakout sessions. And the speaker list is stunning. So let's turn that off so you don't see the green screens. All right. And so that's the news from the cloud. Let's go see what the cloud providers have come up for us this week. And it starts with our good friends over at Amazon. By the way, I think most of these have to do in some fit or fashion with monitoring. Amazon CloudWatch adds the option for easy monitoring setup. Guys, if you've ever configured monitoring inside of the cloud, you know that they've tried to do you a favor and make 50,000 different things that you can monitor. Well, the problem with monitoring 50,000 things is the noise level is just so high. And when everything is alerting to you, nothing is alerting. You don't pay attention. But now they've set up a way to do this in an easy fashion. Here are the prescribed things to monitor. You can still go monitor all the other things if you want to, if they matter to you, but they've made it easier. Thank you so much, AWS. Now over to Azure, general availability for Azure Data Explorer, which supports conditional access. If you remember, Tuesday's update for Azure was also in the Azure Data Explorer, where they had the ability to have more than one data connection inside of there finally, and now they're supporting conditional access. So you just don't have everybody going in and looking at everything. You can set up some guidelines and some rules. All right, so moving on into GCP, back to monitoring. User-defined labels are now integrated into PagerDuty, PubSub, webhooks, email notifications. There's several more, but if you want to learn more about all of that stuff, just head over to rackspace.com/solve/110 and click on the link, news item link, and you can go in and see everything. By the way, for this update or all these updates, you're going directly to either AWS, Azure, or Google product announcements and configuration information. So go check that out. All right. Thank you so much, Clouds. Again, all of that information over at solve/110, episode 110. Okay, what's left for us to do here? You come work for us. Well, not for me. I don't want anybody working for me. I like being an individual contributor. But job of the day, here is what it is. Guys, we have this amazing partnership over with a little company called Snowflake, and we need some more help there. So we're looking for a lead Snowflake delivery architect. We're expanding the team of motivated technologists with a proven track record of delivering results in technology. And if you're smart about all these things and Snowflake, have I got a job for you? So here's some more of that detail, what I was just telling you about. We're looking for somebody who's passionate about helping customers build modern data solutions at scale. You know, when we were chatting with Kat just a few minutes ago, we talked about technology being a place that is future proof. Do you know what's future proof? A career in data. So come on over and join us. And if you want to apply for that job, of course, I have a link at /110. You can go there. Do I say that too much? You can let me know. Subscribe to the podcast. Everyone, that is it for us this week here at the Cloud Talk Live program. Huge thanks to Julia and to Megan and to Daniel and everybody else who helps pull this little shindig together. We've had some amazing guests on this month for Women in Tech. We've had some incredible responses from our guests and from you guys listening and watching in. Some great encouragement came in even this morning into one of those, actually for Angela's episode from last week. Everyone, hope you have an amazing rest of your day here on Friday Eve and a great weekend when we get to it. And you know what? We're back here on Tuesday. And I look forward to seeing you then.